Welcome back to Metro Morning Live. 16 minutes now past the hour. Thank you so much for continuing to stay with us this morning. Want to welcome back to the show Jim Griffith of Griffith Financial, and our segment we call You and Your Money. And welcome back, Jim. It's good to see you once again.
Thank you, Rob. Glad to be back.
Well, Jim, I want to start out by saying congratulations to you on this award you just won. So tell me about this, man. That's a beautiful, nice award that you have here.
Well, thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. And I had to bring this in because this was this is the hometown award. We had our annual end of the year conference and Hall of Fame banquet. So I was awarded this for the work that they say we've done here with providing people with the financial information on JSU TV. So I wanted to bring this in and share this with you and the entire staff because it takes a team to make something like this happen. I'm so proud of it, and I'm proud of you guys for putting up with me every Tuesday morning. And I just want to let you know that this is not just my award. This award belongs to the entire team and the staff here in the studio.
Well, Jim, congratulations, man. That is a lovely award there, man.
Well, thank you.
I mean, you're the best, Jim. We always knew that anyway.
Well, thank you, Rob. Right.
Well, this morning, Jim, we're going to talk about wealth and estate planning strategies and exactly what does that mean to the average person?
Yeah, what that means to the average person is that retirement is not just about accumulation. It's about protecting the money that you've accumulated over the period of time. You know, we've been talking for the last year or so about downside market protection. We expect the market to make a correction. Well, now the chickens have come home to roost. The last couple of weeks, we are knee-deep in a complete market correction. So people need to understand they need to invest in such a fashion that you protect your principal. Make sure that you have a situation where you don't pay taxes unnecessarily. It's kind of like a farmer. When you're putting money into your retirement plans, that's your seed. And then 20, 30 years down the road, you want to take money out of it, that's your harvest. So the thing you want to do is invest in a tax-efficient manner. So as we say, you pay tax on the seed, on the 1-cent seed, and not on the $1 million harvest. People also in their plan need to make sure they have protection for Medicaid. At one point in time, we're all going to need Medicaid or Medicare. So you need to have that in your, as a component of your plan as well. You need to also make sure that when you do die, that money is transferred to your heirs in a tax-efficient manner, and also that you know how to leverage those assets so that you can have more money go to your heirs that's tax-efficient. And the main thing also to keep in mind is that you need to have a plan in place, and that that plan is important. But what's most important is the dynamic planning process, because it's not static. You know, it's kind of like a battle plan. When I was in the military, General told me one day, he said, you know, people say you always need to have a plan, and the plan is important, but it's not worth the flip when the battle starts, because it's the planning process. Because it's dynamic, things are going to change.
All right, and Jim, what's the best way to accumulate money?
Yeah, the best way to accumulate money, number one, is to invest with sound knowledge. Make sure that you have an exit strategy, and make sure that you have protection from downside market risk. You want to also take advantage of the miracle of compounding interest. Now, that comes along with investing in a tax-deferred fashion. Well, compound interest, just to explain just how powerful it is. You know, you put money into an investment, you get interest on the money. When it pays interest again, you get interest on the money, and then you get interest on the interest. And when it pays again, you get interest on the money, you get interest on the interest, and then you get interest on the money that you didn't have to pay in taxes. And that's what makes compound interest so powerful. You also want to have a feature, if you can, where you can lock in the gains that you have, and again, protect them from downside market loss. And you want to have your plan so that you have a plan that minimizes the fees and expenses, because the miracle of compound interest can get eroded away by the tyranny of compounding costs from those expenses. The other thing is to start as early as possible, because time in the market is very important. The earlier you start, the more time you have to reach your goal. So start early as possible. You know, we have and I've mentioned it from time to time, our child asset builder. Those are absolutely fantastic. You can start out with just a small amount of money, $100 a month, and when your child gets ready to retire, they can have anywhere between $100,000 to $200,000 that they can get in tax-free income. So look at that plan, make sure that it's dynamic, it's not static, you're constantly adjusting it because things do change, and make sure that you have that protection from market loss.
And Jim, when you talk a little bit about Medicaid spend down, how do you protect assets from that?
Yeah, when it comes to the Medicaid spend down, you need to understand that the rules and laws of life insurance are very important in an estate plan. It's not your grandfather's life insurance anymore. In the old days, you just used to get a death benefit. That's why it's so important to get a policy review every year. The newer policies today will provide you with living benefits, and these benefits will provide you with money to protect the assets that you've accumulated over time, so that when you get sick, you have access to money to address issues for critical, chronic, and terminal illness. And when you understand the rules and laws of life insurance, especially with our new policies that are on the market, they allow you to basically accelerate the death benefit, and then you can take that cash and address the needs for critical, chronic, terminal illness, long-term health care, and not have to spend down the other money that you saved that you want to pass on to your heirs.
Okay. Now, when you talk about protection from market loss, how do you protect yourself from that?
Yeah, one of the things we use products that give our clients 100% protection from market loss with a zero growth floor, like an indexed annuity. And we also have our favorite product, which is our protection plan and the indexed universal life insurance contract. These policies and plans allow you to grow your money, and that growth is pegged to a stock market index. It locks those savings in, and then when the market drops, you don't lose money like people are experiencing right now. Yesterday, I think the Dow dropped about 600 points in one day, and we're still in the midst of a market correction. So you want to have that zero growth floor so you can protect your savings when the market drops. We have about 900 carriers. So when we put a plan together for a client, we go shopping, if you will, and we find the plan that's going to give them the maximum amount of income if that's what they're looking for, or if they're looking for the maximum amount of growth potential. We shop 900 different carriers if we have to do that to give our clients what they need to obtain their goals.
Okay. Now, how does a person leverage an asset?
Yeah, that's a good, let me give you a good example of that. Let's just say we have a person that has $1 million in a 401k plan. They don't need the money. They don't intend to spend the money. They want to pass that money on to their heirs. Once you get to be age 70 and a half, you are forced to take a distribution from that plan. As I mentioned earlier in a segment, the IRS kind of gets tired of you waiting to die. You're tired of waiting on you to die, so they force you to take money out of that plan.
Wow.
Well, if you don't take that money out, you have to pay a 50% penalty, and you have to pay taxes on the money that you didn't take out of the plan. So let's give a situation here where that distribution was $45,000 after taxes. We would take that $40,000 after taxes, and on an annual basis, we would put that into a second-to-die life insurance policy. When what that would do is that would leverage that $45,000 into $2 million in tax-free death benefit for the heirs. And it would also provide protection for that critical, chronic, and terminal illness to the tune of about $1.5 million. So now what we've done is we've solved two problems. We've leveraged $45,000 payment that you didn't really need into $2 million that you can transfer to your heirs. And we've also provided that person with long-term health care money so that they can protect their other assets from the Medicaid spend down.
Okay. Now, Jim, what's the most important thing our viewers should know about all of this?
Yeah, the most important thing to know is that, number one, when you do retire, the one thing you want to do is you want to spend down those taxable assets first, and the money that you had in those tax-deferred accounts. And the next thing is to make sure that you do dynamic planning. The market's going to change every day. It changes every day. So you need to have a plan that is dynamic. When you need to move into a better position or move into a position where you can protect what you have, you need to do that. And also the most important thing is to make sure that you pass that money on to your heirs in a tax-efficient manner by using dynamic wealth and estate planning strategies. Let's take a look at this clip, and you'll get a better idea of what we're talking about.
on, not the latest gossip, your money. Pass it on without passing on a big fat tax bill too. First, some perspective. Now, most of us don't have to worry about the federal estate tax. Only about 1 in 700 inheritances gets hit. Unless your assets are worth more than $5 million, Uncle Sam is not looking for a cut. But 15 states and Washington, D.C. have their own rules. New Jersey's estate tax, for example, kicks in at $675,000. So do your homework for your zip code. But let's talk about what most of us do have to worry about: income taxes. If you're passing on a home, a bank account, stock, your heirs won't have to pay taxes on those because you already did. That's not the case if you pass on tax-deferred assets like an IRA, 401k, annuities. The person taking money out of those pays the taxes. So if you're leaving your kids the 401k, they're going to have to pay income taxes on it in their tax bracket, which is likely higher than yours. One way around this: try to spend down your tax-deferred money first. Take out a little every year if you can. That way, you'll be able to leave more money and a lower tax bill behind.
All right, Jim, anything new that you want to tell us about?
We have quite a bit going on right now. We have a seminar tonight, as a matter of fact, at one of the local restaurants in Flowood, and that will be on wealth and estate planning strategies. It starts from 6 and goes to 8. We have already booked. We've got a full house tonight, but we will be doing more of these seminars. We have our Capital City Networking event coming up on the 27th of November. It will be held at the 4th Avenue Lounge, downtown Jackson, 209 Lamar Street. Everyone is welcome. It's a mix and mingle. Bring your old friends, come in to make new friends. Our goal is to connect you with someone that will be that next meaningful business connection to help you grow your business and also do something good for the community. And then lastly, we have our end of the year event with the Greater Jackson Chamber Partnership and the Capital City Networking Rockstar Concert. That will be on November the 11th from 5 to 7 at the King Edward Hilton Garden downtown. So we're kind of busy between now and the end of the year, but this is the time of the year where we ramp it up and get things done.
Yeah, seems like you have a lot of people there that do a lot of investments. I can get myself, my students, Coco, Culpepper, and Dan and Jamaica. We get together. We probably get up $50.
We can make something happen.
We can scratch up $50.
Coco, you scrap up $50 and we'll put a plan together.
I'm talking about combined.
Combined?
Yeah.
Well.
But Jim, so tell me about how they can.
Yes, you can get in contact with us. Our website is griffithfinancialservices.com, or you can give us a call at 800-361-6542. And just bring that $50 on.
Yeah, bring that. Okay, we can get it out. We can get it all together, Jim. But congratulations again on your award, man. That makes us proud that you received that, man. And from your work here at JSU TV, we really appreciate that, Jim.
And I just want to say I could not have done it without you guys. Anytime you do something great, you got to have a team. And I appreciate you guys more than I ever probably say, but I just can't think of enough good things to say about you.
Yes,
you guys are great. JSU's great. Football team's winning.
How about that?
We got momentum.
That's
going.
exactly right. We're going
to
talk about that a little bit later in the show. But again, Jim, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, we're back after this.